of light listens to what his opponent has to say to him, and he only fights if it's necessary. When the threat of war is on the horizon, the people worship the warrior. Once the storm is over, he is forgotten or despised. Warrior of Light.
Hello, 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 hello. I hope everyone can hear me. Check that. This is coming in. I think it is. Cool. All right. That is The Warrior of Light by our friend Jean-Baptiste, otherwise known as Decoders. I actually have to learn how he is actually supposed to pronounce that name. It's probably not how you're supposed to do it. Jean-Baptiste is a really cool guy and very graciously allowing us to use his music. I am going to switch though because it's a cool song, but it's not the easiest to kind of work on top of. There we go. A little drum and bass. That should be better. In the meantime, hello. My name is Jesse Himmelstein. I am co-founder of Play Curious, which is a studio a video game studio in southern France. We make video games. We make video games specifically about as a way to learn cool things like discovering cool subjects in science or history or technology, stuff like that. That's what we love. And our specialty is also developing games using HTML5 technology. So a lot of JavaScript, a lot of TypeScript, a lot of, a little bit of HTML, that kind of stuff. And that's what I'll be doing on this stream. Every Thursday, I stream a little bit of video game development. And recently what we've been doing are these kind of like short coding challenges where I give myself an hour, more or less, sometimes more rather than less, to create a game. And so we started. What was the first one we did? Was Pong. We did Pong. Then we did one that was about that was a clone of Threes, the cool puzzle game Threes. Then we did another one that was last week was more of like an AI challenge. We integrated ChatGPT to make like a narrative adventure, so, I guess you could call it. That one was a little bit different. I didn't put the timer on because the lag with the ChatGPT client was already bad enough where it got pretty hard. But this week we're planning. I'm going to do something a little different today. I'm gonna work on. I've had this idea for this puzzle game, like a puzzle game using pixel art, and I wanted to try that out in a video game. I thought that'd be a fun challenge. Well, I was going to say it seems easy, but it always seems easy to me until I try it. That's always way harder. So who knows? We'll see. We'll see if I get there. And let me also say that every Tuesday we have Raphael who presents science games. He plays science games live. And it was pretty cool, actually. Last week it was, last Tuesday it was a game called Everything, which is really cool. I'll just show you real quick. Oh yeah, because I wanted to say that on our YouTube, you can find all this on our YouTube. Can I just search YouTube Play Curious? Did that work? It should work. Yeah, you should see. So for example, this is we don't have Raphael's last video of everything here, but like here's me from last week doing the AI storytelling game. Here's Threes, here's Pong, etc. So you can find all our videos here, or of course on our Twitch page as well. The one trick is that the Twitch as they call it, automatically deletes things after about a week. So if YouTube's probably a better place to go if you're looking for older stuff. Yeah, so I don't know what else to say except maybe I'll talk about, really quick, link to the music as well, of course. Yes, thank you, Raphael. If you could put up that's great. And hello to him. Hello, Raphael. Thank you. Yeah, everything was a cool game too. I don't know if you guys see that game. I'll just put it up real quick. Everything the game, which is not to be confused with the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is also awesome. But this is that game, Everything That He Played. I don't know why the subtitles are in Chinese or Japanese, but anyway, that was pretty cool. It was fun to have him play that game. It's a game that I thought it's pretty amazing. Kind of a game where you explore philosophy, which is pretty cool. Anyway, that's what he's doing on Tuesdays, and on Thursdays it's me programming. Yeah, so that's cool. So what are we gonna do today? So this is my idea. Basically, let me switch back. My idea for today is I had this idea a while back, playing a game called Trinominos. I don't know if you know what those are. Here, maybe I'll switch it back. I'll show you what Trinominos. I might be pronouncing it wrong. Trinominos. Is that it? No, that is absolutely not it. It's like dominoes, but there were 3 sides. Trinominos. Yes, here we are. Okay. Trinominos is like this. So so the idea, as you might imagine, is kind of like dominoes, and you have 3 sides, and each of the corners has a number, and you have to line up the numbers so they match. So for example, these 2 you can put next to each other because they're both zeros, and here they're both 4s. Here there's a 4, here there's a 1, etc. And you can't do it if it's flipped around. And it's a dominoes-like game, so you kind of go back and forth. I'm just going to switch the music so we don't have singing, because I find it really hard to work on top of songs that have singing. And so the idea of this game is to line up. So it's a dominoes game, so you try to get it so the two line up. And I had this idea. It'd be cool to do that with a picture, and I started thinking about, well, what would that mean to do that with a picture? And then I had the idea, what if you had like little parts of a picture you had to line up, and for after a little bit of trial and error, I came up with the idea of trying to do that with pixel art. So I don't know if you can see. Let's see if I can line up to the camera. What I basically did is I took a kind of a pixel art picture, and I cut it up into little pieces of paper like this, and I just tried it out like at home, just seeing, okay, if I just put this out like a regular, regular puzzle, could people play it? Was it fun to have people play it? And actually, I found it worked pretty well. I would say it worked pretty well. Maybe a little bit. Sorry, the music's a little bit loud for me. I'm just gonna lower a little bit. Maybe it was a little bit hard to get people to line them up. Like, it wasn't clear. Like, I didn't have like a frame or anything. It's just like little piece. Also, it's a little piece of paper, and the problem with little piece of paper is that they're kind of hard to manipulate. So I was a little unclear about whether it worked or not. I got the impression though it was pretty fun. And what I liked about it is that when you line up 2 pieces of pixel art, I sort of cut them. I don't know if you can see it. So I cut them so that the line actually goes through the pixel. I don't know if the camera is zooming correctly, but like, I don't cut them at the pixel, in between the pixels, but rather in the middle of the pixel. And what's interesting about that is that way, like, you can always have things that line up or not. So I don't know if you can see, for example, these 2 line up, right? Whereas like any other one would not line up cleanly. And so I was thinking, in a way, it's a little bit like Trinominos in the way that instead of numbers, you have colors, right? And that was sort of the inspiration. That's my inspiration. So my idea was, let's make a video game with that. And I was thinking maybe to not have to deal with the whole drag and drop thing. Why not? We could do a drag and drop thing, but it's a little bit annoying. Plus, where do you fit it on the screen? I had the idea, well, maybe it'd be more fun, or just as fun, to put the things in the right spots on the screen, and just that you click and it just turns it. So all you do. So I was thinking that might be kind of nice for mobile too, like it's really easy. You don't even have to drag, you just click, click, click. And I was thinking, makes a cool kind of casual, hyper casual game. So yeah, that's my idea. I was going to do that using my favorite graphics library called PixieGS. If you don't know it, it's pretty sweet. I recommend it highly for anyone doing graphics work on the web, including web stuff for mobile. So it basically uses WebGL, which is OpenGL for your equivalent to OpenGL, basically for your web browser. It kind of gives you like a nice API for using WebGL on your Yeah, for using WebGL without coding it directly. It's all for 2D games. It's not for 3D, but that's what we're doing here. And it basically uses your graphics card in a really efficient way in order to do 2D graphics for the web. So I was going to do that. And it's actually kind of funny. I was thinking about this because recently with CRISPR Crunch, I've been spending a lot of time going through and doing the optimization for it. And one of the things that we figured out is that you're much better off packing all your graphics into one sprite sheet. So basically, a sprite sheet is when you have lots of graphics that are usually disconnected, or maybe different frames of an animation, but you put them all into one graphic. And when you have that one graphic, that's much easier for the graphics card to do it, right? To use it, because it only loads up one thing in memory, and it basically just says, okay, we'll put this part of put this part of that picture here, this part of that picture here, this part of the picture here, etc. And that's much more efficient than, say, having lots of little small files that it gets confused in its memory. So. And then I was thinking about this in terms of this game, and originally I was thinking, oh, how am I going to make this game? And I was thinking, well, what I'll do is I'll have the picture. So let me just take like a pixel art picture. If I go back to that, where was it? Oh, these are more complicated. I had the ice cream. Oh yeah, that same ice cream cone picture, right? I say, well, what if I just like, let's close it. What if I just like took that same picture and cut it up into little tiles, and then put them into a sprite sheet. Then wait a second. That's so dumb. Like, this is a spreadsheet, right? Like, it's like if you took all those pictures, if you took this picture, cut it up into small pictures, and then put it back into a spreadsheet, it would become this picture again, right? It was totally ridiculous. So what I'm going to try to do is take advantage of that and basically just load in the picture once, and then cut it up in memory. So in memory to say, okay, only display this part, only display that part. That for me is a little bit of a technical challenge. I've never done that. I looked very briefly last night at Pixie.js API, and it seems to me I should be able to do that. But it's new, so if I don't make the challenge time, it might be because of that. So we'll see. There's always new challenges. I'm always surprised about how difficult it is. I rarely make my time, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try to make this in under an hour. And with that in mind, I'm going to go look for a little timer. Let's see. I always say but they have a timer right here. Oh, sweet, in Google. Okay. Man, Google's stealing everyone's business with their own timer. Okay. 1 hour. Does that work? 1 0 0 0 0. Start. Does that work? Yeah, it does. All right. I'm going to put that in the corner. And that's sweet. Okay, so that's going to work. So, yeah. So let's see. Is there anything else before I get started? I can't think of anything. If people have any questions, they can put them in the chat. But otherwise, I think I'm going to start. I'm probably going to speak a little bit less as I get started to try to focus on what I'm doing. And I will take a break probably about halfway through to debrief to see where I'm at and also get a drink, go to the bathroom, that kind of stuff. All right, ready? Are we doing this? We're doing this. All right. Okay, let's go for it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and we're started. So I'm going to start by taking that picture and cutting it up. I mean, cropping it the way it says. I'm no Photoshop expert, but I should be able to do this. So the trick here is to cut it out kind of halfway through the pixel. And of course, this is not great. I wish I had lines on this version. Even if I had a version that actually had the lines on a grid, that would be nice. Because without the grid, it's a little bit hard to do. Come on, Pixar ice cream cone. How come you don't have a grid, do you? about this guy? Oh. Oh, how about this guy? That looks better. Purple. PNG. I think it's PNG. Now I have that. I'm going to start with my Pong game as my basis from a few weeks ago, just as something to work off of. And I'm going to change it. Make it pixel art puzzle. Okay. Let's just change the title. Title changed. Okay, now change the code. We're going to take out pretty much everything. Nothing. That's good. Good sign. All right. Let's create the game. All right. We need a. We don't need to put it anymore. We need to load up Pixie. We're going to create a. So this is actually a new version of Pixie. I don't know super well, so I'm going to kind of discover how we use it. Let's go to our documentation for Pixie. So this is the official documentation. Let's create a renderer. The way it works now, I'll just cover this. Application. I think we can use the game canvas. We can't. I think we should be able to tell the Pixie application what element to use. Okay, it seems like you can't actually. Oh, that's different. Okay, and then I'll take out our canvas. And we'll just follow what they do. And we're gonna load images slash. What's the ice cream cone? Ice cream cone purple PNG. Put this in function. We can use async, and we're gonna call it. Ah, that's weird. It doesn't like its own. It's kind of weird. I'm getting a bug at the on its own example, but it seems to work regardless. We do have something, but we're not getting the image. The source image cannot be decoded. I think probably it can't get the picture because I think we need to tell it. Oh, I actually made a spelling mistake. The source image could not be decoded. Okay, let's open this in a new tab. Ah, indeed. I think we need to tell Parcel how to get the images, and this was a thing I figured out before for different projects. So I'm going to load this up. This has to do with how you use it with Parcel, but I'm blanking on how it worked. So I think it was in our Eat and Red game. Go check out how we did it there. Ah, okay, yeah. I think it's like this. That gives you a URL. And then the URL dot. And then here I forgot what it is. Path name. I think that's it. Let's see if that works. Yay! Okay, cool. We have the pixel art image. All right, so that's just a little bit of Parcel to do that. All right, cool. All right. And we're not going to insert it like we do here. Comment. We want to do this in our game, so what we're going to do is we're going to put the runner I'm going to put all this logic here. we're going to load up in the root chip. We're going to put in the root context. We're going to put the application. So we have access to this application here. And we're going to copy this bit and put that into the chip. No, wait, maybe not actually. Maybe just the image we're gonna load ahead of time. Normally you'd have like a loader or something like that, but I'm not gonna. I don't really feel like doing that now. So. So I'm gonna declare this globally. What am I doing time-wise? Man, time flies so fast when you're not actually keeping track of it. It's crazy. Alright, and then here we're gonna. Why do we have a thing with print code? I don't care about print code. Person resolver cannot find module print code. I never asked for it to do print code. Okay, so that's loading. And so I can take out this. Let's see if this works. This should work like this. Sorry, chip context. Okay, that works. I'm getting errors here because it doesn't know the type. Say as pixie dot. Alright, okay, that's the first step. I have something loaded. Now what I want to do is I want to cut it up into pieces. This is actually the little trick. I'm not 100% sure how to do this. I hope this works. If it doesn't, I'm in trouble. It's going to totally screw up my whole plan. Thank you. Hello, hello. My music is way too loud. Is that true? Okay, thank you for telling me. I actually turned it down on my headphones because I thought it was. How's that? Is that better there? Or is that still too loud? Hello, Chaotic Barbarian. Yes, I'm sure I could ask ChatGPT everything, but whatever. Screw it. I don't feel like doing it today. All right. Well, I'm waiting to see any news about the much better. Okay, cool. Thank you, Timo. All right, so let me get this. Let me try cutting this up. So my idea here is that I think that this is the base texture. Is this one? And they call it a base texture, which is the whole texture. And we're going to find out its base texture and use that to create new textures. I hope this works. Okay, so this is the base texture equals texture.base texture. Okay. Then based off of that, I should be able to const subtexture or tile, I'll call it, equals new pixie.texture. And then we can give it the base texture. and a frame, which is a new pixie.rectangle. So what I'm going to try to do is just select part of it. Like, maybe just the upper corner, for example, like 100 pixels wide. And if that works, we should just see the tile here in the middle and not the whole thing. Not at all. It doesn't work. What is up? What's the error that I get? Cannot set properties of undefined. Setting X. Oh yeah, because I create the new texture, right? Okay, tile, texture. And then I have to create a sprite. Hey! Hey, that worked! That's pretty cool. Haha. Okay, that's what I was worried about. That was the biggest part. So let's see if we can move it to the side. Let's see if we can get like the next tile would be like 100, 100, 200, 200. Sweet. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, that works. That's pretty cool. That means what we can do is we can start cutting it up into little tiles based on that base texture. All right, sweet. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little class for that. A new chip that basically just represents one tile. And I'm going to make it so that when you can click on it, it turns. So let's see if I can do it. So I'm going to create a new composite. I'm going to make it so there's a default container, which is the this dot container. Okay. That's weird, I can't find the name. It is there. All right. Oh. Okay, so the tile, we're going to give it a texture. Well, we give it a base texture and an index, probably that now. And a index, which would be a pixie point. Oh, yeah. Pixie point just being just being a XY, you know. Nothing crazy about that. Unactivate. What are we gonna do? We're gonna create a rectangle. We have to probably know the size also. Base texture and private. Read only. Tile size equals. Is a pixie point also? Because we need to know what the tile size is in order to cut it up. Okay, and on activate, well, we're gonna do this kind of thing. We're gonna create a tile texture. And the new rectangle. Yeah. What is that called? Rect equals new pixel rectangle, and this is gonna be the this dot index dot x times this dot tile size dot x. Same in the y. And then this dot tile size dot x. This dot tile size. Oh wait, is the rectangle? Yeah, it's width and height. So yeah, this dot tile size dot y. All right. So we give it that. We give it a rectangle. Then we make a sprite out of it, like we did here. And except that's going to be a attribute. Is a pixie sprite. So we create the tile. This dot tile equals deck. Sprite tile texture. This dot chip context dot container dot add child. We add it. And in the terminate, we remove it. That's quite similar. Alright, I'm getting a bunch of errors because it's like unknown and stuff, but just has to trust me. I might switch it to be any otherwise. Okay, then because of that, we don't need this anymore. And what we can do is just create, let's just try it out by creating a single tile. So this dot, so const tile equals new tile, right? Actually don't know the correct size of this thing. I'll figure that out later though. I need a base texture. I have that. Let's say tile size equals new pixel. I'll just make it 100 by 100 right now, but it should, I have to calculate that by taking the whole image size and probably dividing it. It's probably the easiest way to do. New tile base texture, tile size, and new pixie point. Start with 0, 0 in the beginning, and we activate that. Okay. And we got a tile. Cool. Sweet. Okay. So far so good. So now basically what we want to do is create a whole bunch of tiles. Also we want to get the correct tile size. So let's just set that out directly. Let's just look at the picture real quick. If we look at the picture, what would make sense? We have basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we could cut it into 15. So we can cut it into bunches of 3. I think 1, 2, 3. Right? Which would be cutting into 5. What about the other direction? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That would also work for 3. So through pure luck, I think this will work if we cut it into sections of 3. But of course, that's not what we... I can't just say 3 pixels, right? Because I don't know the size. I actually have to know. So in this particular case, I kind of know what it is, so I could hard code it. 1, 2, 3, 4. But there probably is a better way to do this. So I think it would be the width divided by 5. Let's see. Let me think about this. So it'd be the width, the base texture dot width divided by 5, and the base texture dot height divided by 7. I think that's right. Yeah, maybe. Looks about right. Could be slightly off. I feel like it's not totally centered. It also might not be perfectly the right size. That would be kind of a shame, but whatever. I guess for a little prototype, it's okay. All right, so now what I'm going to do is create a bunch of tiles, right? Let's do that. We're not going to create just one tile. We're going to create a whole bunch of tiles. So do it in a loop. Let's see, for... we have the number of tiles. Oh, yeah, well, const tile counts equals new pixie point 5 and 7. In fact, we can go like that. The tile size is actually derivative of the tile counts. Count is probably better. Good old double leap for let e equals 0. I less than. Now this ChatGPT could do faster than me. That is for sure. Hup. Do the same thing for J. Not H, J. And we move this in there, the tile size, and the new pixie point of I and J. Activate it. Yep. It does not like that. What am I? Okay. Now it's all, they're all, I think what's happening is I never move them. I have to tell them to move to where they actually are. So in order to do that, I have to, when I activate it, it doesn't just add it wherever, it creates the texture, and then it says tile dot position dot set, and it has to set it where it should be. So that should be, I take the position. Let's see, I take the tile size times the this dot tile size dot x times this dot index dot x, and likewise in the y. Yay! I have my picture set up. Actually, it's a little bit small. I think my thing is small. Can I tell it the stage? I don't know if did I set the stage size anywhere? Where do I set the stage size? Resize to window or element. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. You can have it automatically resize, but how do I set the size of the stage? How do I set the size of the stage? This is kind of dumb. Or can I just give it the resize to window? Does that work? Oh, yeah, it kind of works. It scrolls a little bit because I have the picture, I have the text underneath. What if I just take out the text? There we go. It just resizes automatically. That's pretty cool. All right. If there's probably some padding also I should get rid of around the body element or some crap like that. Oh, where's the padding coming from then? Is it merged in there? Well, anyway, I'm losing time. All right, well, now I have my thing, right? I have my tiles. That's cool. Now what I want to do is have them rotate. But I'm going to take a short break, as I want to do before I get back into it. I will put this on pause. Hup. 26 minutes. I'm doing, hey, for once, I'm doing pretty good. Feeling pretty good about it. I'm going to take a short break, stretch my legs, and think about what the next step is before I start again. All right, see you in a minute.
Salut. J'ai un peu la flemme d'écrire des paroles pour cette musique, mais si je devais faire passer un message à travers elle, je dirais juste kiffer la vie, de vous aimer comme vous êtes. Parce que putain, vous êtes géniaux. Alors je sais, ça fait le mec un peu comme ça, mais c'est vrai quoi. Pourquoi ne pas profiter de ces petits temps de la vie tout en gardant la tête dans les étoiles?
Hello, everyone. I am back. Hope you missed me. A little cold. Also, I put on an extra sweater. Yeah. So before I get back into the game, I just wanted to say once again, thank you to JB Mar, Jean-Baptiste Mar, who made this. He's a really cool musician whose music you can find in a lot of our games. And please do check out his music. He's on YouTube. He's on other platforms as well. Under the strange, but probably some kind of story behind it, name called DQ-Dares. DQ-Dares. All right. And with that, I'm going to go back to the game. So let's see where I'm at right now is I'm doing pretty good time-wise. I think 26 minutes, maybe a little behind where I was hoping. But I do have the game work. I mean, I have the application working in Pixie, and I loaded up the picture, and I was able to cut up the picture into bits. And that was the main thing I was trying to do up till now. Now the next part, what I'm going to try to do for the remainder of the time, well, make it so you can click on them and that they turn, right? That's important. There's some interaction. And then the next part is to say, okay, given that they turn, can we start at a random position with the goal of trying to get them back to the correct position? And that's the game. And then we're gonna play with it and see if it's fun, I guess, right? Okay. So without further ado, let's get back into it. 26 minutes to go. So I'm going to go to the game. I'm going to add a little handler on each tile that handles the clicks. So this dot subscribe to tile dot click. Oh wait, actually this should be this dot tile. Or pointer up, which tends to be the same. And a function, which is this dot on click. And we're just going to turn the tile. This dot tile dot rotation. I never remember if it's rotation or one of them is in degrees and the other one is in radians. It's either rotations or it's. Let's just say rotation. Does it say in radians? Yeah. So plus equals math.pi over 2. So that should. Oh, and I have to set the interactive as well. This dot tile dot interactive equals true, and I think this dot tile dot button mode. Oh, they might have taken out button mode in this version. Okay, so it it turns but around the wrong position. I have to make it so it turns in the middle. And to do that, I need the set the rotation. This dot tile dot anchor dot set 0.5. That's gonna make it turn around the middle, but then it's gonna be off of the space, so it's gonna be the tile size x times index x plus 0.5. Okay. Sweet. All right. I kind of got it. There's no little cursor. That's kind of annoying. I think they changed that. It used to be a thing called button mode, but I think they changed it. Cursor. Event boundary cursor? Where do you set it? You don't set the cursor. Well, anyway, whatever. It's not the end of the world. There's a way to make it so that there's a cursor that changes when you do that, but whatever. Okay, so that's pretty cool. That changes. Now I just need to do a random rotation. Okay. To do a random rotation, I'm going to set them all to a random rotation at start. This dot tile dot rotation, which I figured out wasn't radians, equals math dot random. So it has to be between 1 and 4 actually, we only want between 1 and 4, right? Rotations. Math random is going to return number between 0 and 1. If we divide that we want to divide that into 4s. So we can say multiply it by 4 and then use that. Then take the floor of it. 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's what. I think that should be a random rotation between 1 and 4, and then we multiply that times math.pi over 2. All right. So every time I reload it, I should get a weird version of the ice cream cone. All right, what do you think of my weird ice cream cone here? It's kind of strange, right? All right, weird. Okay, and then the goal is to put it back. So I think this doesn't quite work because the images are off. It's kind of too easy. Because you can kind of see where the lines line up and where they don't. Like, because the image is not great. So I think, unfortunately, I'm going to have to work on the image to make it more exact in the number of pixels. I think it's actually more of an image problem than anything else. The other thing that would be nice is to have a little bit of kind of movement while it turns. You know, rather than having it turn instantaneously, to have it turn kind of like you see the movement of it turning, which I could do fairly easily, but it's going to take a little time. So I think I'm probably going to work more on the first problem, given I only have 20 minutes, to see if I can get it so the image lines up nicer. So I'm going to load it up, if it's not already done, into Photoshop. No, that's the old one. And see if I can make the image work nicely. So what are we doing size-wise right now? Unfortunately, I kind of suck at Photoshop. Let's see. How big is one tile? This is normally where I would call Tebow and say, Tebow, can you help me make a pixel art thing? And he would actually know how to do it. This is not what I'm fastest at, Photoshop. Make it deselect. How do you unselect? Unselect. Selection. Get rid of the selection is what I mean. Two data series. Okay, yeah, it's okay. Home date. Okay. So let's see. It looks like it's 35, 38, 37, 30. What? It's not the same size? Oh my god, it's not rectangular. It's not a square. Oh, this thing is not a square. This is never going to work. It's actually not a square. Oh, crap. I never noticed that. Look at that. The pixels are not freaking squares. Is that normal? Since when are pixels not squares? What kind of pixel art is this? Ah. Pixel art images. T-Bose says nope. Okay, crap. Pixels aren't squares normally? Come on. That's the thing. Look. This one is a freaking... Oh, yes. Let's do the cool face. All right. Let's do the cool face. Come on. All right. Copy image. I mean, or just download this stuff. Face. Okay. Let's load it into... How come you can't do that in Photoshop? Also, what the... Okay. Crop. Where are you? Also, where do you find things in Photoshop? I don't get it. They're always hiding... Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay. Sorry, I'll stop complaining about Photoshop at some point. Or will I? Yeah. Come on. This is like super not exact. T-Bose is crying in his behind his computer screen. You saying that's not how you do it? I'm sure this is not how you do it either. Okay, I'm gonna say that's good. Okay. If I now look at... You want an image, says T-Bose? Yes, of course I would. Yes, absolutely. Ah, wait, this one is 20 by 20, I think. And the whole one is 300 by 300. Okay, I'm going to try this, but yes, T-Bose, I would absolutely. 300 by 300. This one I think might work. Okay, face. I'm going to 300 by 300. I'm going to... Oh, wait. But if I do this one... Well, this one's not going to line up perfectly. It's going to line up on the edges instead of in the middle, which is a little bit annoying. But what I could do is... I could duplicate this guy and make a smaller version. Well, anyway, I'll just try this. Let's see what it's like. Although I don't think it's going to be quite as nice. Face 300. All right, so I'm going to copy it in. Whoop. Face into my images. I'm going to load it in my game instead of the other one. And I know that how many tiles? So it's 300 divided by 20. That makes 15 pixels across. So I'm going to set the tile size to be... wait, 15 pixels? Wait, what was I saying? Yeah, cut it into... Wait, 15. So cut it into 5 in both directions. Whoa. Okay, interesting. It's much smaller, this one. Huh. What do you guys think of this one? It's actually a little more fun already. kind of have to see what the original one looks like to get it to work. Actually, I find it really hard. I'm not totally sure. I'm not totally sure what you're trying to do here. All right, let's see. If I actually look at the picture at the same time, can I do it? I'm going to throw up the picture on the side here. Where's my Photoshop? So imagine if you had the picture at the same time. Can we do it? Okay, let's see. So if I restart. Okay, this one, this one, this one. I'll probably start with the corners just like a regular puzzle. That one I think is right. That one. Oh, interesting. It's like that? Yeah. That's right, right? Looking good. Okay. Oh, that's not bad. It's kind of a nice experience. So that's a little interesting because that's actually different than my original idea right here. I'm not dividing it in the middle of the pixel. I'm dividing it halfway through. I could try... you sent me an image on Discord. Okay, cool. Thank you. Hold on one second. I will check it out. Oh, you sent me some really cool pictures. Thank you. Look what Tipo sent me. Is that awesome? That's so cool. Puppy. Okay, let's try that. Oh, actually, I really like your idea of making an animation, actually. That would be pretty cool. I wonder if you could do an animated GIF like that. That'd be pretty sweet. Puppy.png. Why is it saying it's trying to download a HTML file? Images, no. Projects, play curious, pixel art puzzle, source, images, puppy.png. All right. Let's load it up as a... Let's load up the puppy. Where did I put the picture? Name was down here. I think I put it. Puppy. Oh. Shoot, I'm having a really hard time. This is actually really hard. Hold on a second. I actually kind of need the other picture next to it to figure it out. Okay. Chipo's like, this is so obvious. Chipo's like, this is so obvious. How do I not see this? That one. So one day always, the game actually doesn't know when you've won or not. Of course, you would have to add. Oh! Whoa! Oh! 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 I got the mustache. The bow tie. Huh. Yeah. What do you think? Not bad. Now, it would be really cool. I love you because he also sent me an animated version. Tipo did. That would actually be pretty fat. That'd be really fat, actually. We should totally try that. I was just thinking, actually, I bet that same thing. Because here I only have it divided into 5. If I say I divide up into, say, like, 7 or 10, it becomes suddenly a 100-piece puzzle, right? Because, you know, like a 5x5 puzzle, if you think about it, that's like a thing for, you know, it's like a thing for babies, a thing for 3-year-olds maybe to do, right? What if we divide it up into 10x10? It's a 100-piece puzzle. Given that most people, right, at home, they'll make a puzzle that's like 1,000 pieces or something like that. Like already this becomes a 100-piece puzzle. I need that picture next to me to try to line it up. I think I probably would have to do that as well. Like, wait, oh yeah, it's that way. Is it that way?
Maybe they'll live and maybe they'll die.
Ah, this is hard. It's funny, sometimes you end up with these things just like one pixel that's chilling in the corner. Is that right? I feel like there's something wrong with my puppy. Oh wait, there we go. And this guy's messed up. That guy. It's kind of magical.
Maybe they'll die.
Sweet. Well, anyway, it's pretty cool. I have, I think, 7 minutes left. So with the little time I have remaining, thank you so much, Thibaut. It really changes to have good artwork. I think there's just 7 minutes left. I'm just going to try to do a little thing with the rotation. Can make it a little bit nicer, okay? So let's make it so that there's a little tween when you do the rotation. So what we're going to do is when we rotate, we're not going to rotate instantaneously. We're going to give ourselves a little tween that does that. So which means we're going to have an internal rotation. Where and then we're going to say, I'm going to do a function called rotate2, private rotate2, and then new rotation. Rotate. Okay. So what this is going to do is, if we have a, and this is going to do typically the same, it's going to set this dot rotation to method by, and call this dot rotate. And rotate's going to do is it's going to launch a little animation. So that we're going to use tween. We need a tween. I don't have tween yet. Up. Where am I at? So if this dot tween, this dot terminate child chip, this dot tween. Otherwise, this dot tween equals new tween dot tween. What we're gonna tween is our rotation. No. This dot tile dot rotation. No, as options is dot tile. Property is rotation, and the to this dot rotation.
Maybe they'll die.
then we activate that. This dot activate child chip. This dot tween. And I think by default it takes a second to do it. So ew, this is not working. Last frame info. Oh. Oh, because I didn't update my tween library yet. I think it's expecting last frame info, which is now called last tick info, I think.
Maybe they'll live and maybe they'll die.
Okay, so now I'm getting the little rotation, but for some reason, when I first start, it's not doing the random rotation at the very beginning. Why? I set it. Oh, and I didn't call.
Maybe
This
they'll
dot
live and maybe they'll die.
rotate. Which actually, I think I'm going to try to change, rename to on rotate. Make sure a little better. Come on. Why? Oh, there we go. That's kind of cool. Alright. Yeah, it becomes much more satisfying already, just to have the little... In fact, it's kind of cool. We could maybe keep it where it is for... maybe keep it where it is for like 1 second and then do the rotation or something like that. That'd be kind of cool, actually. How can we do that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, keep the picture, wait like 30 seconds, and then do it. You know, so that it starts. I'll start rotating in kind of a weird way. So you have the time to like get the picture in your head. Hold on. Let's see if I can do that. Yeah, we'll do it. So this dot activate child entity. This dot new entity. No, not child chip. No, new chip dot. That's not in anymore. Sequence. We're gonna give it a new chip dot waiting, and we wait for say 3 seconds. And then new chip dot lambda, where we do that. So I think that should wait for 3 seconds and then do it. 1, 2, 3. Not working. Oh, come on, with 1 minute left. What's wrong? Activate child chip. Wait, and then do the rotation. Is it the waiting that's wrong? Okay, then what's wrong with my waiting? There should be last ticket info. Tick called from state
And this is when the danger begins.
inactive. I have a little bug that's making that not work. And I think with 36 seconds, I'm probably not going to finish that bug. Oh well. But let's just appreciate, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. I kind of like that. And what I like about it too is it can work with any picture. I was thinking if I had to make it go a little farther, I probably would do the thing with animation. I think that'd actually be pretty sweet. It'd be a little more work. Like we couldn't do the same kind of trick of breaking up the base texture. Or could we? Across the sprite sheet? I guess you could. I guess what you do is rather than having one base texture, you would kind of... Oh, there it is. There goes the timer. Yeah. I get it. I'm out. But I finished. Hey, not so bad. Not so bad. For once, I finished a game in the time. I think if I could go further with that, I probably would take it and make it so that, I probably would start where it is, and then they'd all rotate. And maybe even as time goes on, they start rotating. And probably also you'd have to have like an option where you can see the original picture. Maybe it's like a small picture in the corner or something like that, as you kind of get an idea of what you're going for. I think that's what I do. But yeah, hey, that's good. 1 hour challenge complete. For once, complete. All right. Anything in the chat? Anyone want to say anything before I wrap it up?
This is when the danger begins.
Cool live. Thank you. All right. Well, if no comments, I think all is good. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you got something out of it. I'll try to clean up this code and put it up on GitHub like I do for the other ones. And you'll get, what else I want to say? Oh, yes. So don't forget to tune in next Tuesday when Raphael is going to review a new game. I don't know which game he's planning to do this time, but it's always a fun time. He always plays and reviews cool games around science or learning. And I'll also be here next Thursday, as always, working on some other game. Who knows what I'll do. If you want to check us out, we are Play Curious, and you can go to our cool website. Hold on 1 second. I'll bring it up. You can go to our website, playcurious.games, and find out all about us. We have this thing. We have a mailing list also that you can sign up on. You go to subscribe. You type in your email, your name, your country, your position, and your field, and you can sign up on our mailing list, and you'll find out cool stuff about us. You can also find us on LinkedIn. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. Although we're more on Twitter than we are. I mean, more on LinkedIn and Twitter than we are on Facebook. And of course, you can find us here on Twitch whenever you like. And that's it for me. Have a good time, everyone. Have a good day, and see you next week. Bye.